Hi, Kaylin. Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah.
Good. I wanted to make sure that you got the agenda that I emailed out.
Yes, I did see that earlier this week.
Okay. And did you have anything that you wanted to add to the agenda?
Yeah, I did want to talk to you about the vacation time that I put in for next week.
Yep. Okay. Great. I'll put that on the agenda for us. So, and I like to start our meetings with a case consult.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I know you mentioned last week you have a case that you had an intake maybe a few months ago that you're sort of concerned about and wanted to talk about.
Yes. So the client is still in the hospital. It's been 3 months, and I'm hearing from a lot of the hospital workers and staff that they're getting frustrated that she's still there because they want her to be in the residential treatment. And I understand their concerns, and I empathize with that. However, she can't be released from the hospital because she hasn't made any of the requirements, and she's still in restraints, and she hasn't been 14 days free of that. So I'm kind of at a loss of what to do here because the client's not making the improvements that she needs for the residential treatment, and the hospital staff's getting all frustrated, and
Sure.
so that's where I'm at.
So you're feeling like all the pressure's sort of on you to find a placement for her.
Sort of, yeah.
And how are you feeling about that?
I mean, I don't know. I'm fine. I feel like it's just kind of part of the job.
Okay. Because, as you're describing this, it kind of makes me feel a little nervous about, the pressure that we're sort of under to get her out. And I can feel myself getting a little anxious about how we're going to find a placement for her.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe I just don't recognize it, but I mean, there is a lot of stress, and especially coming from the other workers and everything else, and I mean, I just don't know what to do with her at this point.
Yeah, I can see where it seems like an impossible task.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I wondered if maybe we could set up a meeting with the hospital staff to just sort of discuss what they've been doing to try to reduce those restraints and injections, since we know that residential treatment can't do that. And they team on Wednesdays, so that might be a good time for us to come in and just maybe educate them a little bit about residential treatment and maybe talk to them about what they've been doing to sort of reduce that. Can't really make any recommendations until we know what they've tried. What do you think about that?
I think that's a really good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Great. Well, Wednesday, is in a couple of days.
Okay.
Does this Wednesday work?
Yeah, I can make that work.
Great. Why don't you, when we're done meeting, reach out to Nicole, the social worker on the unit, and make sure that that's okay with them, and then we'll plan on discussing her at their team.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Sure. And then next, I wanted to talk about that documentation policy that I sent out.
Okay.
Did you have a chance to look at it?
Briefly.
Okay. And I know when I sent it, I didn't really say much about it, but I wanted to talk about how it does concern me a little bit, this policy. The deadlines are pretty tight, and we've never really had a policy that said if you didn't meet the deadline the first time, you get written up.
Right.
So I wanted to see how you were feeling about that.
I mean, it is a big change in the policy, so I wasn't really sure when it was going to be implemented or not. Sometimes those things take a long time. So
yeah, it's going to be implemented pretty quickly, but I wanted to just let you know that I always use discretion when I have to do disciplinary action with people. I like to take into account people's personal and professional reasons why documentation might not be done right on time. And I still plan to do that even though we have this policy. So I would just like you to come to me if you have any concerns or things that are coming up that are maybe causing documentation to fall behind, so we can work through that and get a plan in place without having to do a disciplinary action.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
Yes.
Great. Okay, and I know you wanted to talk about vacation requests, and I want to make sure we leave enough time to do that before we wrap up. So,
yeah, so have you gotten a chance to look at it? I was just wondering if it was going to be approved.
Sure, yep, I did have a chance to look at it, and it is short notice.
Yes, I did realize that.
Yeah, and I really like the 30-day notice for vacation requests, just so that I have enough time to find coverage for your cases while you're gone.
Okay, well, I did talk to Anne, and she is going to cover my cases, so
Oh.
in case that helps, I did want to let you know that I spoke with her and we set up a plan.
Great. Well, thank you for taking the initiative on that. I appreciate it. But before I can approve the request, I also wanted to bring up, I've had some concerns from a couple of your clients who've called me saying that they haven't seen you in a few months.
Okay.
And you know that, we like to see our clients every month,
Right.
just to make sure that they're doing okay. So I kind of wanted to talk before you had your vacation on how you're planning to see your clients this month, especially with having next week off.
Okay.
I checked your caseloads today and it looks like you've seen about 25%. So really, if you're going to take next week off, I'll need you to get to 75% by the end of this week.
Okay.
Have you thought about a plan of how you'll do that?
I've cleared up some time in my schedule, and so I'm planning on seeing 5 clients today, and then so to catch up a little bit, and then by Friday I should be able to hit that 75%.
Great. Well, how about we meet Friday then, maybe Friday afternoon,
Okay.
and make sure that you're on track with your plan, that you've seen 75%, and then I'd be happy to approve your vacation request.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Great. Okay, so we talked about your case, your intake, and you're gonna, as soon as we leave here today, go call the social worker Nicole
Yes.
and set up the meeting for Wednesday. And if you could just let me know if I should plan on it, I would appreciate that.
Okay, I'll send you an email.
Great. And I know you didn't have any concerns today about the documentation policy, but as it's implemented, if you have any concerns, just please bring them to me and let's talk through them.
All right.
Okay? And then maybe does Friday at 3 o'clock work to meet and just quickly chat about how you're doing with your caseload and make sure that we can finalize the vacation?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Great. Thanks, Caitlin.
Thanks.